sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Welcome to the last party of the weekend. This show is 10 Drink Minimum, sponsored by the Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Man, it's good to be here. We have Smiley.
I am in the studio as well.
You are, barely.
Barely. Wait, what's that mean?
I don't know.
Is it because I'm barely in the studio?
You're in the studio. Roger Messner's in the chat, and he says, "What up, players?"
What up, Roger?
I don't think we play sports. I don't know what he means. I'm just kidding. What's up, Roger? Our friend from Chicago.
Oh, yes, the one that made the wonderful rumor about me.
Yeah, that you look like Corey Feldman.
Yes.
And in the studio with us today, it is Oscar. I didn't plan this out. This just happened. It is the Academy Awards. It's the big day in Hollywood. And this just happened. We have our good friend, actor Alexis Berent in the studio. Welcome.
I'm also here, yes.
Ooh, Roger says he's heading home. He's a truck driver.
Oh.
He says he'll be doing some shots for us, hopefully after he gets out of the truck.
Yes.
That would be responsible.
I would think, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to do those in the truck. And maybe you do. I don't know. Who am I to judge people?
I'm not a truck driver. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I don't know what the laws are for them, but I'm sure you're not allowed, right?
I want to say you're not allowed to drink and drive.
What if there's shots of espresso?
Hey, well,
That's always acceptable, I think.
How many shots are you doing? It seems a little dangerous, but so welcome to the show. So are you excited about the Oscars tonight? You have to be here for the first 2 hours of it, right?
Well, I've got the updates on my phone, so I'll keep them rolling.
Did you gamble on it?
I did not. No,
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Okay.
I need to know what... I always am behind on the Oscar movies, so I like to watch them after the awards.
Okay, so...
Which one was it? Oh, good. The Oscars had it all picked out for me.
Yep. I'll be like, I'll watch that when it won something.
Okay. So, have you watched any of the movies?
I'm super behind this year.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen it. I gotta look at the nominees.
Who are the nominees for Best Picture?
Wicked's nominated for everything, and I haven't actually seen Wicked yet. I didn't want to see it in theaters because it was always so crowded. I hate a crowded theater.
And then there was the singing, right? So
whoa. Singing.
No. But they had to put out
the
special,
sing-alongs.
sing-along auditions, right? I mean, I've heard they always do that, but
yeah. Well, I think people sing along no matter what, too. Sing along edition or not.
It's weird because
I love musicals, so I was gonna be like, whoa.
I went to the Dylan one and
calm down there.
And then I did the sing along, and people were all, "Shut the fuck up!" I'm all, "Hey." No, I did see that one in the theater because I'm such a Dylan fan. I was like, and I'm rooting for it to win every category that it's in.
Well, he won Best Actor for the SAG Awards.
Yeah,
which I think was deserving.
There are times in that movie where he turns to the side, and I'm like, that's him. He's Dylan right there. That's Dylan. And he's like, looks like him. The little, that's that's the thing with acting. Like, everybody always thinks the speech part. It's like, no, it's everything. It's like, the body language and everything. Like,
mannerisms are the hardest.
Yeah. What do you like? What is the hardest thing for you to get?
What do you like
when you're doing a movie like? I guess
I've never done well, I actually no, that's not true. Waco.
Like when you're creating a character, what's the hardest aspect of that?
It's just you have to really get into their mind. That's definitely a really important thing with acting is you're not just saying the lines, you're believing them. So having to get into their mindset. But I've never done a biopic like that because the character I played, it's not like I had anything to go off of because she's deceased.
Yeah.
So there's no footage or anything of the person I was playing. It was based on a real person, but I didn't have much to go from.
Yeah, that would be tough right there. Actually, I don't know. Is that tough or is that actually then good? Because then now I don't have to,
Well, it was tough because I wanted to do her justice as a person. She's a real person that went through this traumatic, horrible thing.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a tough one. But yeah, I think doing a biopic because like immediately there's going to be people that are like, oh, no, you know, like doing a live person that was alive, or also playing a character that like is beloved, that like in like fiction,
that's
comic
gotta
books,
be tough.
that's also tough.
That's gotta
you
be
know?
tough because people really scrutinize every little thing.
Oh gosh, especially like nerds.
Oh yeah.
Nerds, that doesn't look like the Incredible Hulk. You're out of your mind.
All right. I loved the remake of Friday the 13th, or not Friday the 13th. Excuse me. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Really?
But
Jackie Earle Haley?
yeah, I thought he did a great job.
Okay.
Yet it's hard to redo something when the original actor is still right there doing the same role.
Yeah.
So Robert Englund's still playing?
Yeah, the last one he did was on the Goldbergs. He played Freddy Krueger.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like he's still reprising that role, so it's got to be like really weird to.
Yeah.
Now you're just some dude.
Well, and not only that, he didn't create the character, but he created the character. You know what I mean? Robert Englund is Freddy
He
Krueger.
brought him to life.
Yes,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, that's interesting. So speaking of so we're talking about the Academy Awards, which is the best, the cream of the crop, the biggest movies. Da 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 da. So what movies do you watch that are just trash garbage?
Most of the movies I watch are trash. That's my favorite. I genuinely, like, almost every night will just go look. I like stuff if it has sharks in it.
Oh gosh, like
Sharks.
Sharknado.
Yeah, Sharknado, or I just actually watched one that was actually pretty good. It's a French movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what was it called? But it's about sharks in Paris that are just like evil giant super sharks. It's crazy.
Okay.
That was wild. Yeah.
So The Room. Have you seen The Room?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just saw that Tommy Wiseau is doing a shark movie.
Oh.
And it's all, will Louisiana survive? And I was like, or will New Orleans survive? And I was like, sharks in New Orleans. I mean, it's not unheard. I mean, it's probably unheard of.
That's brilliant.
It's not impossible, but
And over the levees, the sharks came.
okay. Here's the question, and like I had this discussion over this week, right? Is it better if a shitty movie that is good was shitty because they tried to make a good movie and weren't good at it, and it just ended up being shitty but great? Or the ones that are aware and they just do a campy shitty movie? What's better? You know what I mean? The difference.
I think it can vary because I think the ones that aware can be better because they tend to be funnier.
Mm-hmm.
Like they tend to lean into like how weird this is.
Sure.
But sometimes when they're trying really hard and it still ends up terrible, that can be really funny. The worst movies tend to be if the credits are coming up and it's the same person that's like, I wrote it, I directed it, I'm starring in it.
Yeah.
Those are always the worst.
Have you seen? So The Room, of course, you know, he's like, oh, I meant to be. No, you did not. You wanted to make a masterpiece of a film.
It was supposed to be art.
And it is.
Yeah.
But in a way.
Anything filmed on that roof that looks completely insane.
Yeah.
It's golden.
And then, but have you seen Miami Connection?
No. What is that?
Oh man. It's this gem of a movie that, speaking of movies, our friend from New Jersey, CJ Cullen, is in the audience. CJ, we're talking about shit movies that we just love. Like they're not going to win an Academy Award, but they're classics in the best sense, like The Room. Now we're talking about Miami Connection. CJ teaches, he's a teacher in New Jersey. He teaches film to high school students. So anyway, Miami Connection was this movie that was made in the 80s. And somehow...
Wait for the premise. It's amazing.
Hold on. And somehow it did not get out. And Alamo Drafthouse found it, bought the rights, and they show it. Like, I think, like, maybe once a month or, like, every, and people show up to watch it. So it's exactly what you're saying. This Taekwondo black belt guy decided he was going to make a movie. So he wrote, directed, and starred in the movie with his students.
Oh, God.
So they are a group of Taekwondo black belts who are also in a rock band, and they also go to college, and it's called Miami Connection. They go to college in Orlando. And it's fantastically bad.
It's like Karate Kid meets School of Rock.
Hold on.
Okay, also, you all of them play the guitar. It's like 7 guitarists and their band.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And none of it makes sense.
No drums or vocals?
Yeah.
No bass.
Oh,
Just...
yeah, but they sing, and they had the songs from the movie are right up there with how awfully bad the movie is.
Did he also write all of the songs?
Yep. Friendship, loyalty, friends forever will always be. And they're like, and the whole premise is they take over as the headliners at this nightclub, and the original band that got kicked out decides that they want revenge.
That's right.
As they would.
And so then they hire ninjas who are also drug dealing in out of Miami, apparently, and it just turns into this ridiculous, like, and the big, how like in their karate films there's always like a secret move that someone learns and it becomes,
and you just like use your finger and you kill somebody.
This one is the guy uses his foot to grab people by the nose. Oh, it's so bad, but it's so good.
Interesting.
Miami Connection, you gotta watch.
I have to look that up.
Duke City Warriors in the chat, hello, welcome. But what's your favorite, like, bad? Like, which one is your go-to? You got to watch it every so often. You have to show it to people. You have to show it to people and stare at them while they watch it. So you hope that they have the same.
I gotta think about. I want to like go and look through my letterbox and think about it, because I feel like sometimes I'll rediscover a bad movie.
Yeah.
Because what I used to do in high school was I would like to put on like bad horror movies.
Oh, okay.
And then we would play a game where you have to like pick a character and see who lives the longest. Like you like pick, like obviously most of them or all of them are gonna die, and you just see if you're somebody that survives for a long time.
Yeah.
So I used to do that with. There's a movie called Circle.
Yeah.
Which it's not like horrible, but it's definitely very like low budget because it all takes place in one room, and it's pretty much a bunch of people wake up, and it's like 100 people in a room. They're all on a platform.
Okay.
And like. I haven't seen it in years, but pretty much there's a laser that'll start killing people unless they like choose to sacrifice people as it goes out. It's like a weird alien movie, but that's a good one to play because there's 100 characters to pick from, and obviously they're going to keep dying throughout. That one is one I used to always watch.
So your chances aren't very good. You have to be good intuition on that.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I cool. Made a lot of people watch that one.
Someone was telling me about one because like the trope for the horror film is, if there's a black character, they die like right away.
Yeah.
So someone was telling me there's like a newer one where it's like all black people, and so they're playing off the fact that like how are you going to kill who's going to die first, and and someone's like you got to see it, it's really good. I'm trying to, and if someone
isn't that a new comedy?
Yeah,
I've seen clips from it.
Yes,
it seems funny. I can't think of what it's called.
And I was like, oh, I want to see this because that was like a trope from the 80s up.
And that still is a trope that happens a lot in modern movies too.
Sadly, sadly. But I like that people can take that and, play off of it.
Yeah, play the comedy in it.
Yeah. And so, but like, so one of the movies, okay, so growing up, I watched a lot of HBO and a lot of Cinemax. And there's a lot of these movies that, in my mind, I thought they were great films. And like, you go look it up and they're like bombed horribly at the box office. And so that's probably why it played a lot on, HBO Cinemax.
We got the rights for this for 12 cents.
Yeah.
Would you like to watch it 3 times a day?
So some of the movies I watch, that I love are these, like, first of all, I love like any movie from the 80s or 90s that has surfing in it and is about surfing. Love them. Absolutely love them.
Guaranteed to be terrible.
Guaranteed to be terrible in the best possible way. But like, so what's his name? God. So at this last Comic-Con, I only got one signed picture. Like I have all these pictures signed on the wall, and I only got one. And I usually get the ones of the people I do the panels for, but there was too many people that were too high profile this time that I'm not spending $100 and something on an autographed picture from somebody. But God, what is his name? Hold on, I have to look him up. And I felt bad because the years before he was here, and no one was going to his little booth, and he
Tom Arnold?
No, he tried to call me over, and I kind of ignored him, and then I was like, that was really rude of me. And Keith Coogan. So Keith Coogan was in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. He was the brother.
Oh, okay.
He's like, he's all, the dishes are done. We're like shooting him. He's that guy, right? So this time he was here, and I was like, I'm going to make sure I talk to him, because that was really rude of me. And I know he doesn't care. He sees 1,000 people. But I walk up to him, And I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "It's going well. How are you?" And he's like, real excited. And I said, "I will get an autographed picture from you if you have a picture from the movie Under the Boardwalk from the '80s." And he just starts laughing, and he goes, "Man," he's like, "that's a real Roger Corman-esque film right there, I tell you." And do you know Roger Corman? He made like a lot of really like he was one of the kings before Troma and. Who else makes the bad ones? But
he made the first Final Fantasy movie. Or no, sorry, Fantastic Four movie.
He's like the
okay.
king of like bad low budget films.
I liked that movie.
Oh no!
No.
There's one that came out.
There's one that never
in
came
the
out.
80s.
No, it did not.
Well, it was made.
It was made in the 80s. It never came out.
It was just so it could keep up the licensing.
Yes, it's never seen the light of day except for some clips, and people are like, "This needs to be out." But he did Death Race 2000. He did Rock and Roll High School, like classic films that are just great but awful. Anyway, so Under the Boardwalk, the dude goes, "Hold on," and he pulls out this binder because he has all the ones out on the table that are like, you know, his popular films. And he's like going through this binder, and he fucking has one picture from that movie. And I got it autographed, and he told me some behind the scenes stuff from it, and I was like, "Holy crap, man!" Then there was you know, you ever like you're talking to somebody and they kind of let loose a little, probably more than they might have normally,
Overshare a bit.
and I'm sitting there talking to him about it, and I'm like, "Man, did you grow up surfing?" And he goes, "No, I wanted to, but my mom said it was too dangerous. She didn't want me to mess up my face, and I couldn't do commercials and earn money." And I was like,
So he must have started young then.
Yeah,
he was already on.
he was a kid, and I was like, "Your mom wouldn't let you go surfing because she was afraid you would get hurt, mess up your face, and couldn't work."
That's why it's
like,
called the moneymaker.
But that's also sad. Like, oh no, like your mom made you go work, you know?
Well, most child actors they're not doing it because they chose to.
Yeah. They're saying The Cell is an example of a movie I think that is brilliant that the critics just didn't really get.
That was a great movie.
And that's from The Sausage Factory. I like that name. But it was really cool because, like, but I was like sad at the same moment. I was like, "This is cool that you're saying this," but also like, "Oh, you didn't get a childhood." He was like, "So I actually got to surf, so it was pretty cool."
Aw.
So yeah,
I was in a surf movie. I finally got to surf.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I have a number of movies like that, you know, like it was weird. Like I did at the last Comic-Con, I did the panel for The Lord of the Rings, which was, you know, amazing, of course, you know. And then Weekend at Bernie's, that was the one I asked for was Weekend at Bernie's because all three were there.
Yeah.
Andrew McCarthy, Jonathan Silverman, and I can't think
That was so good, dude.
I can't think of the other guy's name, but then the one that was really cool was the handler for how does it, John Patrick Kelly, the guy from the Warriors, come on, play. He asked me, he goes, "Can you do his panel? Because the people who are doing it don't know who he is." And he's like, "You know who he is," and I did. And I brought up one of his movies. The first thing I did was I said, "Hey, I know you're known for the Warriors, but when I was a little kid, you scared the hell out of me in the movie Dreamscape." And he goes, "Oh, as the Snake Man." I was like, "Yes, as the Snake Man." Thank God it zoomed in right at that moment. And but that was another one of those movies when I was a kid. It was on HBO. It was on Cinemax, you know, and it had boobs in it. You got excited.
So you have to watch it.
Yeah.
Is mom out of the room?
Right.
Boobs.
So, and when you're a kid, like all the Academy Award stuff usually was like boring. On Golden Pond, boring.
It's all the dramas usually.
Yeah. But now it's like I want to watch some of those. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. What is up for? Let me look this up. I have to pull this up.
Wicked's nominated for everything.
Best Picture. I'm trying to think what I have seen of this. So I've heard Emilia Perez. I've heard not good things about this.
Yeah, I haven't watched it just because I've only heard bad things.
I've heard really bad things.
I'm sure I'm gonna force myself to watch it, but
so then there's Conclave. I don't even know what that is. Nickel Boys. I don't even know what that is.
yeah, I was a bad actor this year. I did not watch a lot of the nominated stuff.
Dune Part 2 is nominated?
Oh my God! That for what? Please say a choreography. That thing was gorgeous.
No, Best Picture.
Oh,
well, okay, that works too.
Yeah.
I cried. Some of the things in that were just so beautiful.
I also don't know what I'm Still Here is.
Ooh.
and that's just, and some of this is just me. I'm just not. I'm like you. I don't. I know what the substance is. I've heard really good things about the
Super good.
substance.
That's another one I haven't seen yet, but I actually really want to watch.
Yeah, that's the Demi Moore one. Yeah,
it is.
She did.
You've seen it, Smiley?
Yeah, no, it was the first movie I watched on my new projector.
I don't know what Honora is. Oh, you got the
Honora is about the sex worker.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She also another one I haven't seen yet, but I really want to watch.
Roger says Nickel Boys is based on a book, and Conclave is about the intersex pope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet. Thank you, Roger.
And then there's The Brutalist. I know about The Brutalist.
That's getting really great reviews.
It is, but
Yeah.
I've heard it's also 4 hours long.
Something like that.
4 hours long.
That's brutal.
That is brutal. You know what's brutal? 4 hours in it. But I heard there's an intermission, which also is
Which
bad.
I appreciate that they
Yeah.
at least give the intermission. Nowadays, you'll sit through a 3.5 hour movie with nothing between.
Yeah, you're like,
and then
I
you
guess,
have to leave in the middle to pee. Like that
I
sucks.
guess I'll just miss part of the movie.
Yeah. Can I get a drink?
Of course.
Just give me one of these and a Pepe Loco, and I'll just, that way you don't have to get up more than that. He says spoiler alert.
Oh.
What, that is 4 hours.
So it's weird. It's 4 hours. Spoiler alert! It's 4 hours long. Like if you go to the theater and you don't know it's already 4 hours long because it's a surprise, I would be pissed. Because that's like an event right there.
That's your whole night.
Yeah,
You have to be ready for that.
Yeah, that's what I because I'm like, we're gonna go to this movie. Oh, I like the movies. It's 4 hours long. Oh, that might be a deal breaker of going out that night, right?
Oh, I like a long movie. I'll get like the little pizzas they have.
Oh, he gave
cheese
away
pizza.
he gave away the Conclave twist. Oh, whoops.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. It's already at the Academy Awards. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's.
People have had time to see it.
I think the dog wants to go outside. I don't know. She probably wants her ball. Never mind.
Yeah, that's not a
Don't-
good idea.
Don't do it. Don't fall for that one, Smiley. Do not fall for that.
You almost made me fall for it. You're all, hey, go fall for that play over there the dog is doing.
And I don't know how to feel about the I'm Not There or Complete Unknown. I keep calling it I'm Not There, which is the other Bob Dylan movie, which is great. But I went to go see it in the theater, and I have every other Friday off, so I went to the early show. I went to like the 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like the youngest. A lot of people in there. I was the youngest person in that room.
At 11 a.m. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I'm not young.
I feel so. You walk in there, you walk out. Oh, I feel so spry.
Yeah, I feel like it could win, but I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. But I feel like it could win It should win for sets and set design, like in the costuming.
You think so compared to the other nominees, though?
I mean, Wicked could win costume.
I think it probably will.
You think so? All right, we'll see.
I gotta look at the nominees list.
But like the way they made that movie look like the 1960s New York, the New York City, like how New York City, because they panned through and they had to redo. I'm sure they did it all on a sound. I don't know. It looks like Greenwich Village in 1960s.
They probably used like a studio lot that's already a built neighborhood and just tweaked it a bit.
It's amazing. It looks so good. I mean, you're probably right. Wicked will probably beat it on that. I don't know. He'll probably win Best Actor. I think. I don't know.
I think he could.
Or Adrian Brody. It's him or Adrian Brody.
But Adrian Brody, I think, is the people's choice right now. So it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. What I thought was hilarious. Did you watch the Golden Globes?
No, actually.
Who is it that hosted it? It was really funny though. She's all and thank you to Adrian Brody for surviving the Holocaust twice. I was like, that's pretty funny. I was like, because he was with the pianist, and then the brutalist was like, all right, now you guys are friends again.
Yeah, it's my buddy.
She's like, okay, I kind of remember you.
All right, I was looking at the list here.
All right,
and in fact, Dune 2 is up for best cinematography. So that's good.
See, that one, honestly, that could win that.
But isn't it mostly CGI?
Still looks beautiful.
I
don't know,
but
man.
that bothers me.
Does it?
There was
things that are mostly CGI win for that kind of stuff. It's
I
like
mean,
best animation.
You wanted them to really film it on Dune.
They need to find some sand
on Arrakis.
But do you want to take that away from the animation Oscars? Like those categories?
It's tough.
There was scenes in that movie that I cried at. They were so beautiful. No dialogue. I was like, wow, they really
it is
did
pretty
that.
beautiful.
Amazing.
Well, what bothers me is when I saw Mufasa. I liked it a lot, right? But then I thought about this and I was like, many times I've heard people call it the live action Lion King.
Yeah.
It's not live action.
It's still animated.
There is no live people or beings in this. There's no live beings in any of this. It's all CGI that's still animated, right?
Yeah.
But they're like, it's the live action Lion King. No, it is not.
I don't see a person here.
It's the photorealistic Lion King, I guess. I don't know.
That's harder to say.
Right. But it just blows, like, because I had like heard that many times, and
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
thought in my brain all of a sudden, I was like, wait a minute, there's no human beings in this. So
I think they technically probably with the CGI they had people like wear the suit, with the dots on it to do the movements.
did they really?
Mocap.
I'm guessing
Oh.
they did, right? I actually don't know.
I don't
no
think
idea.
so, because I think at this point,
Why would
It
you
was
have?
full CGI animation?
I think so. Yeah.
You get someone like dressed as a lion on all fours. Yeah, I don't think that was
That's
working out
what-
for motion capture.
That's what Seal had to do for the Seal ad,
Did he really?
for the Super Bowl ad.
I don't
where he
believe
was
that.
a seal. Yeah, there's a
Did he
behind
really?
the scenes video.
Oh wow, I didn't
Yeah.
see that. I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. But
I just watched the commercials.
oh yeah.
I'm one of those.
So we were all just lazy all year. We're like, all the good movies, whatever. I'm busy.
No, Smiley, we're fucking busy. We're
Yeah, I know.
absolutely the opposite of lazy.
I guess that's true. Actually,
We didn't lay around watching fucking TV because I watch I have like more TVs than probably most people, and I watch the least amount of TV that I've ever have in my life.
Really?
I don't have I have so many things going on, and then whenever I'm at home sitting and watch, it's harder to sit and watch things now. Like if I'm with someone, yes.
Mm-hmm.
because then it's an event.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
But-
gonna watch something.
I did watch like a bunch of the SNL stuff.
The
Watch.
SNL 50?
I didn't
Or
didn't
just SNL in general?
I didn't watch the actual SNL 50. I
Oh.
watched clips from it.
We tried
Kieran
real
Culkin
hard though.
won Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, that was
I knew he would.
I want to see that movie. It's the one with him and Jesse Eisenberg. It looks great, and he
It
looks
is good. I actually did see that one.
Okay.
That one is good. It's very emotional. I'm a fan of both of them.
yeah, absolutely right. Kieran, first of all, like Kieran Culkin in like fucking one of my favorite films of all time is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and he is such a great part of that film. Speaking of movies that like didn't get their due till way after,
I didn't make the rules, Scott. Hey.
Yeah, I love that. Chris, big dogging shit over here. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. But like, you're a performer. We're performers. So you're out like trying to either like, network,
Yeah.
or you're out at an event, or you're, out doing the things you do, right?
Yeah,
So
I haven't been to the movies in a while.
Dude, I went and saw Complete Unknown but I had to like carve out the time to go do that, and that's why I went at like 11 a.m. on a Friday. It's like, but yeah, going to the movies seems like not exhausting.
No, I'm with you on this, dude.
It just seems like a lot. I
It
don't
is a
know.
lot now, especially sometimes I hate when I go and I regret it because there's a lot of people have lost their theater etiquette. I don't know. People say it was COVID, like that weird time between when people weren't going to the movies, now that they're going again. Like, there's always people that are talking or texting. I've seen people Snapchatting in a movie theater
the
with the
fuck,
flash
man?
on. It's insane. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate going on weekends specifically
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's the busiest time. I try to avoid weekends and try to do weekdays if I can. But also, I really like movie snacks, and they've gotten just so expensive.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
the only one I really do is the popcorn, because I don't know, like I can't make popcorn like they make at the movies.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh, you can go buy that butter," and I'm like,
It's a lot of effort.
I can't do it. I don't know. It doesn't turn out the same way for me. They're saying I was too busy for the Super Bowl. I wasn't too busy. I just didn't care. Like,
Yeah, there's a difference
yeah,
there.
I honestly, it was really weird. Like most of my life, I've watched professional football, and in the last 5 years, I just kind of don't watch it ever.
I've
all.
never in college, I was a intern for the videography for the football team, and I still don't understand football. Like, I spent like years of my life filming it, and I still don't understand what's going on. I just never absorbed it.
They're doing something over there.
I just know to keep my eye on the ball, and that was it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just one of those things, and I still watch basketball sometimes. I still watch baseball, but Super Bowl, I don't know, just didn't. And then it was like all the Taylor Swift, like whatever, and I was like, I don't care. I could care.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was like, that's not Chapel Roan. Who cares? I'm just kidding.
I'm too busy for this stuff right now. I can't even get a good movie theater experience at 11 a.m. on us.
No, I did go. What happened? I showed up so I was doing Fandango, and I went to the wrong one. Because I was,
There's not that many in the town anymore.
Dude,
man.
but I've confused the 16, the one over on I-25 with the Coronado, or the Windrock one. Because I like the Windrock one.
Oh, well, they took away the best one in the city. That's when I stopped watching.
They took away the one downtown.
Yeah, the one downtown.
That's the one. That was my movie theater.
That was mine
I
too.
didn't know there was one downtown.
Oh man,
when did they get rid of that?
2 years ago.
2 years ago,
Huh.
because the city or whoever owned it, this blows my mind. Some movie industry people wanted to put offices in there, and I was like, wait a minute, you're movie industry, so you're going to take away one of the places where they show the things you make, and then they did that, and then now they're not even in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just a vacant theater that's been gutted for some.
And
offices.
the movie theater wasn't closing.
Mm-mm.
They lost their lease to those people.
That's crazy. I wonder if it was a situation where if it was, usually when they open up offices, it can be just a single movie that's filming here. Sometimes, like an Amazon movie will come here, they'll rent out some office space for the 6 months they're filming and then leave. Or if it was a studio, because I know like Netflix, they've got their own actual studios now.
Oh yeah, we have.
NBC has their own studio, so I wonder if it was someone wanting to be here long term or just for one film.
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have. The theater downtown had been there, over a decade?
It had been there a while.
It had been there a long time, so it was really weird for them to lose their lease.
To that,
So we figured there'd just be offices there for
forever.
And the thing that sucked is you could go to you could fast all day, so you could go to Tucanos and eat all the protein meat on the planet, and then go
or the all-you-can-eat salad bar as well.
Yeah, and then go feel fat while you watch the movie. You know, like let's go watch the Academy Award nominated movie. Yeah, maybe Century Ray Basura says maybe Century Rio 24 will add Malort on tap. Then you'd be right with. Does Century Rio 24 have alcohol now?
I don't think so.
Because Flick's Brewhouse does, and I
Flick's
also. Oh, you know what?
sure.
So it's really weird. I didn't go to the movies for like a year and a half. And then I went to 2 movies in the same day. I went to A Complete Unknown in the morning, and then I went to Mufasa at night and drank beers while I watched, live action Lion King. Fucking bull.
All right, well, Flicks is all right.
I like it.
Most people don't have time talking because they have food in front of them. People are actually watching the movie.
Oh, yeah.
There
might
not
be
that disruptive.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of that, so I saw A Quiet Place there.
That is a weird idea.
Well, everybody's like, you think about it. Like,
trying quietly to eat.
right.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because, you're watching the movie and you heard somebody, opening their licorice. It was all... And then you're like, shh.
Because that movie's genuinely
Yeah.
95% dead silent.
Mm-hmm.
So that would make me anxious trying to eat.
Someone's
doing
like,
that.
you're all, shh. You're going to set him off.
I can hear myself chew. This is bad.
You could, yeah. That was a creepy one to see in the theater.
That's a good movie. Did you see the sequel?
I have not, and there's a third one.
There's any of
Is
the
the third one
sequels?
out?
Yeah, the prequel,
Mm-hmm.
the one where
yes.
where is the second one's not the prequel, right?
No, it's just
No.
called Quiet Space 2.
The third one is the one where it was day one.
The third
Day
one
one.
is the
Yeah.
that one I watched. Actually, I watched that one on a plane.
Weird. Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay, you said it. You said plane.
Oh no.
So I went to San Diego this week
On a plane.
on a plane.
How was that?
Going to San Diego or the plane?
The plane.
There,
The plane, boss. The plane.
there it was okay. Coming back, not so good. Well, first of all, let's talk about what's going on in plane news.
I've never seen so many crashes in my life.
That right there. So I'm like amped up on like I'm just like right away. I don't like flying.
Yeah, I hate flying too.
And then you might not like the story. So I'm right away like, okay, this is gonna be rough, you know. And it's not like I had a flight to Phoenix, then a flight to San Diego there. 2 like 50-minute flights. There it was not rough, but still I don't like it. On the way back, we're flying back from Phoenix, and they're like we're flying to Phoenix, and they're like mid service, and the pilot's like, I'm gonna ask the flight attendants to go ahead and sit down. We're gonna hit some bumpy stuff. And like when he said bumpy stuff, he undersold that. It was so violent, 2 people threw up on the plane.
I've never been on a plane where someone threw up.
Dude, I'm sitting there and I hear, and I'm like, oh, what was that? Someone? And I was like, oh.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Because then that makes you more nervous too, hearing other people.
Yes. And so it was so violent. When we landed in Phoenix, I debated renting a car and driving 6 hours from Phoenix to Albuquerque.
I mean, that's not a bad drive.
It's not that bad.
No. And the reason why is because it was not rough until we got close to Phoenix. So then that means when we fly out of Phoenix, it's also going to be rough.
Yeah, we had some cold fronts coming through the New Mexico area that week.
Well, so no, it was Phoenix. It was the shit that was rough. So we go to fly back out, and it was in like as we're about to take off the flight, the captain comes on. He goes, "We're gonna hit some bumpy weather right away, so we're not gonna have a service on this flight." And I'm just like, oh my god. And I'm just
bring me my shot so I can sleep.
And I know it doesn't do anything, but like I have to grab the seat in front of me just to feel. I don't know.
I have to make sure my seatbelt is like crazy tight. That's what I always do. Like before takeoff, I have to like triple check my seatbelt, and then I have to sit in the window seat. I don't know if that's better or worse if there was anything to happen, but I have to be at the window. I need to like be able to see what's going on.
Yeah. And here's what's fucked up. People are like, well, you know, just don't fly. And I'm like,
it's not that easy to say.
With people like us who do lots of fucking things, we have no choice.
I don't have time to drive across the country. I don't have a car to drive across the country.
We're not John Madden in the Madden Cruiser just driving. You know, we have a bus drive. That would, you know what? Honestly, that dude, you know, he had it down. John Madden was like the coach, and then he became like the commentator for NFL. Mm-hmm. Like he would not fly.
Oh.
And so he had the Madden Cruiser. He had this like tour bus that he had decked out, and then had a driver, and the driver would just drive him to everything. And I mean, honestly, that would like,
if you could afford that, why not?
If that's your job, like your job is to be in these different cities and you're being paid lots of money, and someone's driving you, and you have a place to sleep, like, because you know most of it you just go lay in bed, and somebody drives you all night, and you probably get there, like, you know.
Because I don't mind a road trip either. I don't mind long car rides. It's just like, because my family's in Michigan, so I fly back to Michigan like at least once or twice a year, and that's a long flight.
Yeah.
There's no direct flights from Albuquerque either, so I always have a layover. The last time I flew home was horrible because there were all these winter storms, and I kept getting delayed, and then we're gonna get you off the plane, put you back on the plane, wait an hour. Oh, it's delayed still. It was horrible. I hate flying.
Yeah, me too.
But it's necessary for my life.
We have to, We have to do it. You know,
I'm the opposite. I freaking love flying. I love airports.
This motherfucker. This motherfucker over here.
Yes.
As soon as the plane gets up off the ground.
Yeah. I don't even know what airplanes are.
And it's like he's on, like he died. Like there was, like when we were flying back from Chicago, the flight attendant comes over. First of all, fuck her for this. She comes over, he's in the opposite aisle, and she's like pushing him. And she's like pushing him for some reason. And like he's like doing this, he's like this.
So does it just relax you, or is that the shots before the flight?
No, I'm the epitome of, why is the baby fussy? Just put him in the car and drive around the block. Yeah. I'm out.
Yeah. So then she keeps pushing him. Finally, I'm like, I'm his friend. Do you want me to wake him up? She's like, yeah. So I grab his like shirt and I just shake him, and he like wakes up. And he's like, yeah. And this is why. She goes, can you push your bag a little more into the front chair?
God.
And I'm like, asshole. She could have, like, when I said I'm his friend.
You could have just done it.
Yeah.
Oh, like, here, let me get that.
It's like, what an asshole, you know?
Yeah, they were like shaking me. It was crazy.
It was so funny. She's like pushing his chest, and he's all.
Well, she was probably just making sure you weren't intoxicated or something. If anything, that was just a test. When
I
she
was like,
started to
he's
push it
out.
in.
Yeah,
No, I'm always out.
yeah. He goes out like right away.
I can't.
The whole
imagine.
flight.
I can't do that in general
No.
when it comes to sleeping. So I can't imagine just getting on a plane and falling asleep.
Well,
All right, check this out. This is my favorite one. I've been in New Zealand a couple times. It's about a 16-hour flight. I will sleep all the way through it. I'll be like, oh, so this is New Zealand.
just you wake up
Crazy.
there,
you wake up just refreshed.
Yeah, I slept for 16 hours
no
because
jet
of the,
lag.
the constant engine just keeps me asleep.
Wow. What if there's like violent turbulence?
Sleep through it. I'm not awake.
Jeez, see, that's the part I wish I could do. Like if it would shake, if it like, I'd be like, what the fuck's happening? You know, I'm that person on the plane. I don't want to sleep because I'm afraid I'll snore.
Ooh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
valid. I think
Chris,
those planes are
did
so
I
loud.
snore?
No,
Okay, good.
no. But you know what? I'm afraid I will. I'm like, never be like, Oh man, there was a guy. So we're all flying Southwest, right? I should probably save this for Wavy Hour. We'll talk more about movies. So what do you have going? Oh, I'll save it for Wavy Hour. Yeah. There was a guy, and he was ultra rude, and I was like, I expected them to like get. Nah, they probably wouldn't come off plane for it, but you know.
You have to do a lot to get kicked off a plane.
Really? Okay.
You like it?
So you have something coming out soon?
Yes,
Is that
I
right?
do.
Can you tell us anything about?
Yeah.
Last time you couldn't tell us anything about it.
Yeah, I can tell you a little more, but I don't know as much as would be helpful. But
Yeah.
movie I'm in, I've got a supporting role. It's called The Eighth Day.
Okay.
The name has changed a few times, but that's the official title now is The Eighth Day.
That's how it goes, right?
Yep, it's a like romantic thriller, I think is the best way to describe the genre.
Okay.
And it's going to be in theaters in New York, LA, and a couple other cities on March 14th of this. It's March now, right?
Yeah, oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
March 14th. So in
Yeah.
about 2 weeks, it's coming to theaters. And I think a few months after that, it'll be available on a few streaming services also.
Right away, huh?
Hells yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's. I mean,
No, it's called a limited release. If it's in New York, LA, and a few select places.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
Select theaters.
there's
would
like
be the way
some
to
sort
say
of. I don't remember what it is, but there's like this whole thing where like if it just plays in one theater, you get something. I don't remember. It's like insurance or something. You know, you have to at least do one. So like a lot of them, they'll do a limited release.
Mm-hmm.
Who like filmed it? Like what company made this?
This is an independent company.
Indie. Okay.
Yeah, it's indie film. I think technically it's a few small companies. I'd have to look
Oh, okay.
up
Nice.
specifically. But
Like you'll go in the
Up and comers.
the movie's starting and there's like 4 different like logo things pop up.
I think 2 or 3.
They're all Searchlight,
indie
and then
filmmakers.
the dude shooting the arrow, and
all the little logos.
yeah.
Who
Who else is attached to this?
So, actress and model Phoebe Tonkin. I think
Okay.
she's most known for her role in The Vampire Diaries.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I know her from H2O Just Add Water, which is like a tween show from the early 2000s about mermaids.
Oh, okay.
I am
Yeah.
not familiar.
That's a classic. You gotta watch that.
Interesting.
And then the Darren Mann, he's in the show 1923, I believe.
Oh, that was fuck. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
The Harrison Ford. God, what's
It's
the
like attached to the the Yellowstone.
Yellowstone?
universe,
It's,
right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
so the prequels. The first one was 1883,
Mm-hmm.
With Sam.
which is amazing. It's Sam Elliott. It's Faith Hill and what's
I
her husband?
love Faith Hill.
What's her husband's name? God dang it! And they're all three. All three are great. Like in that show, have you seen it?
I actually haven't.
Oh my god!
I haven't
So
watched
they
the
make.
Yellowstone
Here's what
shows
tripped
yet.
me out about it. I haven't watched Yellowstone, but I watched that. It's only one a season,
Oh,
and then it ends. It's beginning to end.
Huh.
And I don't know who did that, but like who like did it, but like they make Faith Hill kind of look rugged. And you're like, and it bothered me for a little while because I was like, when I was younger, like Faith Hill was like,
she's the it girl.
yeah, and she looks rugged. She looks like like she's wilderness, like outlaw, like rugged.
I like that they did that.
Yeah.
because they tend to
Tim
make people
McGraw.
too pretty. Oh.
Tim McGraw and Tim McGraw comes like Tim McGraw. I mean, first of all, Tim McGraw in Friday Night Lights, amazing. Tim McGraw in ATA3, also amazing.
That's good to know.
He plays a really good badass, you know, and he's Kevin Costner's character's great grandfather in that show. So
because it's the prequel.
Yeah. It's the family traveling from Dallas Fort Worth to Wyoming or wherever the ranch is. Yeah,
where they end up.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of immigrants that go with them, and it's like that's the whole show. It's like it's one season of them traveling, and how fucking awful, and like one episode is them forging the river. And so many people die, and so many people like
it was such a risky thing to do, but you had to do it.
Yeah, a thing we just take. Like,
now we have bridges.
We just drive across, Yeah. Huh. That's a great one though. So so when did you guys film this?
Spring or summer? Was it 2023? Because it's 2023.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So it's been in post production for a while.
Mm-hmm. It hit the festival circuit last year.
Okay.
Did the Dallas Film Festival.
Did it win any awards?
Chelsea Film Festival.
Is this the one that you're like, there's pictures of you like at different events?
Yeah. I went to the Chelsea Film Festival in New York. I don't believe it's won any awards in the festival circuit, but it was like the headliner for all of these festivals, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
To be selected for that.
Oh, okay.
Well, getting selected for a festival.
Exactly. And to be the opening
that means everyone
film,
gets to see it.
Yeah. Was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And it was good. I really enjoyed watching it. It was cool.
How many of the festivals did you go to?
I only went to the one. I only went to the Chelsea in New York. So that was a big trip too to go all the way. It was my first time in New York.
Did you get the gift bag?
No, they weren't good. I didn't get like a VIP access thing. No. I just went for the one. I didn't go for the full festival. I just went for our screening specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you done any of that
what
stuff?
Was that like? What was that like? I've never actually watched anything that I've been in.
It was weird. Because also at one point I was like, did they cut me out of this? Because I don't know. Like I was like, when does my scene come in?
Oh, did you only have one scene?
I had, it was
after all said and done.
Technically 2 scenes, but the first one, it's like you kind of just see me for a brief moment. I'm not really the focus of a scene. You can just see that I'm in it. And then I have another scene that's a pretty big one, and it's kind of chunked up between other scenes happening. So it's one other big scene, but it's distributed throughout the end of the movie a bit. But it's weird. I don't know. I think I'm going to be one of those people that's like, I can't watch what I'm in. I always thought that was so pretentious when people would be like, I don't watch my movies, but I kind of get it.
I haven't tried it out.
It's kind of hard to do.
It just seems weird to me.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Like, you were really good in that episode. I'm like, I'm good. I'm glad I was. Was I? Cool. Yeah. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's hard to do because I've done a lot of short films, a lot of 48s and like little things like that. So I've watched those, and those are hard to watch too. Like whether or not the audience in the room is reacting positively or negatively, I still tend to be like, I don't want to watch this.
Smiley and I've done the 48s. Yeah. Like, what was I? I was the evil brewer in a brewery, right? Yeah. And then Smiley was the main character in one of them, the 48 thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That was the first time I had to do stunt work and dialogue at the same time.
Yeah. Huh. But okay. So with this,
still haven't seen it. It's so weird to see me on film. I'm like, is that what I look like?
That's the hard part too. It's like, is that my face? Is that my voice? That's the worst part.
That's how I walk.
Is that what I sound like?
Don't forget the walk. Like
that's what I look like from behind.
That's how I move.
I have to work on my hair.
Because for us, like people are always like, they'll listen back to the show. They're like, I hate the way my voice sounds. Mm-hmm. And it's so weird because I get it because like I used to listen to my voice and I would. I wouldn't listen to the pod. Like I had to edit it, and I had to edit the show, and like I'd have to listen to myself, and I'd be like, "Wow!" And you don't realize how many ums and uhs and all that shit you do.
Yep.
I don't do as much anymore, but now I can listen. I don't care.
Yeah.
None about it. But now it's like when I'm doing stuff, like if I do Duke City Championship Wrestling or whatever, I'll be like, "That's how I move around. Like that's my how my movements. It's weird." It's weird to see yourself.
It's hard to not focus, and you're obviously you nitpick on yourself more than anyone else would ever do.
Of course.
it's like looking like at your face at night in the mirror, and you see every little pore on your face, and you're like, God, what is this? But in reality, no one else is looking at you like that. You're overdoing it. Yeah, so it's weird, but it was cool to actually see myself in like a full feature film like that for the first time. And now knowing it's going to be in theaters and released is
everybody's going to see you and they're going to be like, nope.
They're like, terrible job.
I'm just kidding. No, I was talking I was having this exact conversation last night. I was at we had two of the guys from Death City Opera on a couple weeks ago, and they did a big event last night, the Sadness, Madness, and Mayhem event, and it was at Fusion. It was at this place over here, you know. And
I know Fusion.
Yeah, and it was like this art space.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody dressed up. I had you can go on my Instagram. There's definitely pictures. I have like horns and all this thing.
Oh,
and
he looked really good.
Yeah,
I commented on his photo. I was like, wow.
And I got cornered by a bunch of people who knew who I was and talked, and I got introduced like to, which you go to those things for these reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like there's a guy in town who is a composer that just moved here a year ago from LA.
Oh.
He's a film composer. And he has an studio downtown. And so he was like, he's like, so do you know a lot of musicians? I was like, I know a lot of musicians. He's like, well, then you're the person I want to know. And so we ended up talking about performance and art and it's like, what people don't understand is like when you put this out there, like when a movie comes out, when a TV show comes out, like you see the product like fresh. And the people who've made it, especially the people who are editing it, have seen this so many times.
Yep.
And they can see especially the director, especially the actors, they can see every flaw.
Every little detail, everything, like, especially when decisions were changed or made last minute, that's like, oh no, I should have done this instead.
And that's all they
should have changed this. Yeah, they'll only focus on that, but no one else even knows those things.
Mm-mm.
That's what you always have to, like, also with children in theater,
but
you always have to tell kids when it comes to memorizing their lines, because they'll always, like, freak out if they mess up a line. And I always tell them,
stop.
Like, well, also, the audience usually doesn't know
what
you were supposed to say, so just keep going.
Keep going.
They will never know you messed up unless you show that you messed up, and it's kind of similar, like, with a lot of movies and stuff when you're nitpicking. It's like, well, the audience may not have known that idea that you had that you decided to not use or that change you made.
Right.
So just go with it.
Yeah.
Always.
Right.
I did that dancing forever, and they're like, oh, you're not too confident with your dance? Well, that's fine because you're headlining and no one will know that anything you do is different than what it was supposed to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
They'll think that you meant to do it.
Exactly.
But in your mind, you're like, I'm trying to do this.
Come on,
exactly.
I totally screwed up that whole dance routine right there. And like, well, no one, like the audience didn't know. You looked amazing upstage. That's all they know.
Oh, I did a similar thing. I had a commercial where I was a TikTok dancer, and I like copied a dance I found on TikTok, but on the day of like shooting, I was so nervous. It was my first big commercial.
Oh, wow.
And I kept like freezing up and I would miss moves. And I knew in my head I was messing up, but I kept going. And then everyone on the crew was like, oh my God, how long have you been a TikTok dancer? Because they didn't know what the dance was supposed to be.
Exactly.
So why was I so nervous? I was just making up little like robot moves and nobody knew the wiser. It just seemed like I knew what I was doing. It's all about confidence with that. No one will know you mess up unless you're like, oh no, sorry.
Oh, you mean life? Yeah, it's all about confidence.
Yeah, life too.
It really is, man. A lot of fucking things. You're like, you kind of roll in, and you're like, oh yeah, I could do that. And then when it's apparent, you can't sometimes. But
fake it till you make it.
Sometimes. I mean,
yeah.
I live by like, a lot of times people are like, how did you get in there? I was like, because I walked up and they thought they
asked me to, and I didn't tell them I had no qualifications.
Right. And it's one of those things where, like, if you look like you're supposed to be there and you act like you're supposed to be there, most of the time they'll just fucking go. They'll look up and go,
Exactly. They'll assume you're supposed to be there.
Yeah. And they'll just be like, and especially if you walk up and you're just like, oh, God. And then they look at you and they're like, hey, can you, what's going on? And you're like, sorry, I'm in a lot of things right now. And, like, you keep going. They'll just be like, oh, yeah.
In the zone.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what's happening here. He's just disheveled, like the whole Seinfeld. What is it? The Costanza, where he's like, I don't do anything at work. I just act like I'm upset, and frustrated, and they're like, Costanza needs a vacation. He's just like, he's just constantly like, upset. I just think that's true though.
Yeah, 100%.
You're working too hard.
Yeah. Are you working on anything right now?
No, I'm waiting.
It's waiting, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's been slow. Like winter's over now, so things are gonna start back up. A lot of the TV shows that are returning for another season are gonna start in the next month or two. Pilot season's not even really a thing anymore.
No,
because
really.
It's not a season anymore.
Yeah.
They'll start a pilot whenever they can.
When do you think
it might be like during winter nowadays?
Yeah. And we'll take a break here in a second. But like, when do you think, like, you say that pilot season is not a thing anymore? Because I honestly think in the next 10 years, networks won't be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And someone's like I told this to somebody, and they just couldn't fathom it. They're like, well, as long as you have antenna, you'll be able to like get TV. And I'm like, not if they turn it off. And they're like, well, why would they do that? They could still play,
more bandwidth. They
could still play commercials and they make money off that. I'm like, if no one is watching them,
there's no point of playing them.
The commercials will not, people will not pay for ads. And they're like, well, why wouldn't they do that? I'm like, because no one will be watching it.
I like how Chris refers to me as no one.
Was it you?
No, I watch network television is hooked up on all of my TVs.
And I hear what you're saying.
I like to watch the news every day.
Okay. Which you can watch on streaming.
What time?
Whenever you want.
Oh, weird. I like to watch mine line 5:30.
Yeah, but you're an anomaly.
I know.
Yeah.
But you did refer to me as no one.
You are no one.
I love my network.
Network no one.
Television. I like watching things at a certain time.
Things disappear, man.
I know.
It's how life goes.
It's a way of the past.
Yeah. It's weird. It's very weird. We're going to take a break. So do you have anything you want to promote other than March 14th? Go out and see this movie?
That's the big one. March 14th,
Man.
The 8th Day. There's an Instagram page called The 8th Day Movie if you want updates on where it's going to be playing in theaters and also streaming. And you can follow me, Alexis Berent, also on Instagram.
Hey.
I'll promote myself until I have more projects coming out.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then and then, maybe someday we'll be like, she just won Best Supporting Actor. I mean, yeah, she was on the show. We had her on.
And then I'll come back for another episode.
Yeah, for sure. There we go. There you go. Hey, that's the thing. You have to promise you will.
You can hold me to it.
When you're like famous. Because actually, we'll do that. We'll hold you to it. So we have some stuff. We have a lot of things to promote right now.
Got a busy summer coming up on us.
Next Sunday, we have mayoral candidate Mei Ling Armijo. She's running for mayor of Albuquerque.
Oh.
She's going to come on this show. Probably not going to be the most funny show, because I'm hoping we get a lot of information. So, and I've recently heard, I can't say it because I don't want to get in trouble.
Not the most comedic show, but more informational.
But other people are going to throw their hat in the ring for mayor. And I've found out about it because I'm in the know. And I can't say who it is, but there's going to be a big name announced soon for mayoral candidate. But I would like to get Mei Ling Armijo in here because I want to know what's going on. It's like these are crazy times, and for me, I can't do anything about anything national. I can't do anything about anything in the world, but I can do something about local and state government. I can. But one day before that, on Saturday, if you go to the Box Theater, Dry Heat Comedy, Almost AAA Cabaret, this Sunday, the triumphant return of Chris Burnett as judge. One of my favorite things to do, right? Love it. Excited. Are you going to go?
I might.
It's the first Saturday,
been in a
right?
while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually like
it's
to go.
second Saturday.
It's second Saturday. My bad.
Saturday.
Yeah. Then April 11th through the 13th, me and James will be in El Paso, Texas. Recently announced for the El Paso Comic-Con. Recently announced. Well, first of all, there's Sean Gunn's going to be there.
Oh, nice.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh my God, what?
And for the entire weekend this time, Patrick Warburton will be there. My friend, Patrick Warburton.
Will I get to meet him?
You damn sure will.
Yay!
And my friend Aja will be there. Super stoked. Scott Ines will be there, the voice of Scooby-Doo, friend of mine. Cool cat. So it's going to be a blast of a weekend. So if you guys are in the El Paso area, Smiley and I will have an apartment. We will be raging all over the town. What else do we have? March. Gosh, when is it? Duke City Championship Wrestling is sometime this month. Because we just announced at the last Duke City Championship Wrestling that we are now a member of the NWA, owned by Billy Corgan. And I know when he's going to be here.
Hush up now.
I do.
Oh.
I know when he's coming. Billy Corgan will be in Albuquerque. I'm not saying it will be this month. I'm not saying it will be next month. It's coming, though.
Well, he likes this place anyway. He loves our thrift stores.
He does. So Billy Corgan's going to be here. Isn't that crazy? Like, the wild lives of people, right? So, yeah. All right. I don't know what else we have. I'm trying to think. I know there's something else, but I'm
looking at my calendar.
This is why I don't watch movies and shit. I'm like, I got this and this and this. But yeah, thank you for being on the show. You're gonna stick around for the wavy hour. We'll talk more. What was I teasing?
Airplanes.
Yes. Anyway, yeah, we've got fun things to talk about, of course. But I'm stoked that we're gonna have a mayoral candidate here in the studio.
Yeah, we haven't done anything political on the show for a little while.
We had a presidential. No, well, all right. We had a guy running for president.
Oh,
yeah, we had. Yeah,
that was an interesting show.
It was, but let's just say he didn't get on the ballot everywhere. But it was fun. It was a fun show. Dana Childs, nice guy. Yeah, and he was like, "Can you give me all the YouTube stats for this?" I'm like, "Dude, are you kidding, man? Come on." You're not. Yeah. All right. But yeah, check out On the Eighth Day.
It's just The Eighth Day. That was the original title.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. If you can, buy it on streaming.
Yep.
It's only $20.
I'll get some residuals.
Hell's
nice.
Yeah.
That's what you want, right?
That's what I do.
You never see. Here's the fucked up thing: is you never know. You're like, well, I made this little movie, and then all of a sudden it's because so many times you're talking to these people, and they're like, we just went and 3 weeks hung out and partied and made this little movie that we thought no one would watch.
It's a cult classic.
Yeah, or it wasn't. It was a fucking massive hit. You never know. So
it could come back in 20 years, and you're like, where's this money coming from? Oh, yeah.
Right.
Some extra secret money.
Right. That's cool. So check that out. We're going to take a break real quick. We'll be back. With that, we are 10 drink minimum. Oh, man. All right. There we go. We're back. We're live. It's the Billy/Wavy Hour. There's Smiley.
Oh, yeah. I'm still here.
And Alexis.
I'm also still here.
So I went to San Diego last week. I flew out last Sunday. That's why we didn't have a podcast. I let people know. I put a thing on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram if you don't. We have our own Instagram account. I have my account. Smiley doesn't have shit.
Hey, I was preemptively boycotting it.
Who's boycotting it? There are people boycotting Instagram right now.
I don't know. Isn't
a lot of people are actually.
I guess they are. Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, they're.
Well, okay. I also have a, what is it called? The one that's okay.
Blue Sky?
Yes, I have one of those. I have, how many followers do I have on Blue Sky?
That's one of the newer.
It's a new one, right?
I have 81 followers on Blue
What do you
Sky.
think? Should I get on that?
Yeah, it's not really Instagram-y. It's more Twitter-ish.
It's Twitter-esque. I'm not on it yet.
I wasn't on either.
Yeah.
I'm also on
I deleted my Twitter years ago.
Threads, which is also Facebook.
Yeah. Or I think that's also very Twitter-esque.
I have 442 followers on that one. I do okay.
Now, see, that seems like something I could get on.
Yeah.
On Threads?
No, on the
Blue
Sky.
We'll do it.
Well, because I missed everything else.
Hurry.
People were like,
Do
TikTok,
it.
and I'm
now.
like, oh.
Hurry.
I'm on a show, Chris. We're doing a live broadcast right now. You want me to stop and make a profile?
Hey. No. Anyway. So I flew out last Sunday. And what I did was, so my company, I'm an IT guy by day. And they wanted me to get what's called the Security Plus. And I know there's people going to be like, oh, you think the Security Plus is hard? You should try the CCNP and the CCNA. I don't care. This is one of the roughest weeks I've ever had. So you're supposed to study, you're supposed to go take a class at like a college and then like study for like 6 months and then take the Security Plus. It's not easy. People fail it all the time. Lots of people fail it, right? So my company paid for a boot camp. A boot camp is where you go and in 1 week they teach you everything you need to know to pass the test. Do they teach you everything you need to know? No. They teach you everything you need to know to pass the test. So
So it's an intensive.
Very intensive. So every day from Monday till Friday, every day I would get up, go to a class for 8 hours, get done with the class, study, eat, and then study till I went to bed. Every day. Because it was like $2,000 for this.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So you don't want to go back to your company and fail the test,
Yeah.
right? So I did that. Like I would wake up in the morning. Like I woke up yesterday morning and immediately started doing the questions in my head, and I had already taken the test. It was so ingrained in me from doing it every day, right?
Here, wait. I'm at home.
I was in the hotel and I was about to fly back. And
Oh, shit, you're still in the hotel.
I was like, I need to unprogram my brain from this. So the test. So Thursday, this happens, right? We're the whole thing is we're supposed to, like, the instructor is teaching us, and then he's going to set up a server in the room, and he's going to administer the test to us. The test is from this third-party company. I don't want to say their name because I don't want them to come and sue me. But they're kind of like, the only way I can explain it is they're like the Michelin star people. Like, you don't know what questions you failed. You only know that you passed or failed and what your score is. They will tell you what you should work on if you fail for the next one. Just the areas.
They don't
That's
tell you
it.
the specific things you got wrong?
No.
That sucks.
They do not.
So it's like a Smiley test.
It is very hard. And so Thursday we come in after lunch, and our instructor's like very morose. And he's like, I have something to tell you. He's from Puerto Rico. I don't know how I don't want to tell you. I'm very upset about this. In the 14 years I've taught this class, this has never happened. He's like, we tried to connect the server and it will not connect. We cannot administer the test to you. And I'm like, fuck. And people are like, are you kidding? He's like, no, I am not kidding. This was on Thursday. So the guy in front of us goes, well, there's testing sites all over town. And the guy's like, he's like, I'm getting there. We can give you the voucher. You can all sign up. If you have a car, you can drive there and you could take it. So me and my coworker who I was with opted to take it. Or you could take the voucher, come back to Albuquerque, take it somewhere here, because it's very nationalized, very big test. So we opted to take it, and the only time I could find was 10:15 a.m. on Friday. Well, there was still class left. So I was going to have to miss half a day of class, the final half of class, to go take the test.
Without getting that last bit of information.
Right. So I got 1 hour of it. Did that 1 hour help? One of the questions was in that 1 hour. Not kidding. So I go in and I'm taking this fucking test. So I'm going to tell the whole... okay. So I walk into this testing center. There's a lady. You have to take all the stuff out of your pockets, put it in a locker, lock it, pull the key. You have to show identification, all this stuff, right? They film you the entire time you're taking the test.
To make sure you're not cheating?
Yeah, I had to take my watch off. They had to check my glasses.
Wow.
That you're not wearing meta glasses?
Yep. And I'm not wearing anything inside of my glasses, all that shit, And when I say that I went to a boot camp, they had every question that's been on the test in prior years. Every one. Right? Not only did they teach us, but they gave us every question that's ever been administered on the test.
That's very
Right?
thorough.
Right?
That's awesome.
And like there's 3 big ones on your test. Sometimes people get 4. And these big ones are like, they're like a, because it's all computerized, right? So it'll be like, here's this, this, and this, or here's a network. Map it out, and you have to do the drop downs, and like put where like a router, a switch, a blah 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 goes. You know, all these things, right? So you kind of have to know what you're doing, right? And so like I have the ones that they think are going to be on the test we're going to take. I have them because that's what they do. They they want you to pass.
Yeah.
2 of them were on it. 1 was not. There was a new one. These are the heaviest weighted. Well, actually, we don't know. We don't know how they're weighted, but they're probably the highest weighted. So one of the questions I completely had no idea, bombed it. Right? Then, of the 469 questions that they gave me, 44 of those were on the test, and there were 72. There were 72 total. So 30 were brand new that I'd never seen before. Right? So I'm halfway through this test, and I'm like, well, I failed this. I failed. Like, I am feeling as shitty as I possibly can feel. I'm like, this is awful. I failed, and I finished the test in like 18 minutes, and you get 90. So I go back through. Like, they give you like a little dry erase thing and a little marker. So I start writing down the questions that I'm like that I'm not sure, and there's like 20 of them, right? And like 44 of them I'm absolutely positive I have right, and I'm like 30 of them I'm not, 20 of them for sure. So I go back through, and one of the big ones I just have no idea about it. So
That's always rough.
So I'm like, well, I failed this fucking thing. So I'm going back through, and I'm like using logic.
Yeah.
And I'm reading all the keywords, and I fill it in. Finally, I have like 18 minutes left, and I'm like, well, I've gone through it 3 times. I've given it my best effort. Because of the amount of money my company paid, if I fail, they give me a free voucher to take it again, because it's $400 to take the test.
Oh my god.
So a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So I submit it. Then there's like all these like survey questions, like a ton of them. They're like, how did you study for this test? Are you a male, a female? Don't want to say. Are you white, black, Asian? Don't want to say. And there's like 4 pages of all these surveys, and I'm just like already feeling like absolute garbage trash because I didn't pass this test. And then I hit submit, and it goes, congratulations, you passed. And I was like, almost screamed out in the test center. I'm not kidding. I almost screamed out in the test center. I walk out, and the lady's like, how did you do? I was like, I passed. And she's like, let me print it out for you. And I was like, yes, please, because I don't want anything. Well, first of all, it goes, you passed, and then the screen went black.
So it just gives you like a second of it.
Yeah. And I went, oh my God, did it just fucking fuck up? And I just passed. They're like, well, we have no record of it. I'm like, no. It's 900 points. 750 is passing. I got a 782.
Nice.
I was like, fuck. So I'm Sec Plus certified now.
Can I get 2 copies of that? Just to make sure.
Yeah, I took a picture of the paper that you printed out. God, so then we're in San Diego, California, fucking one of the most beautiful cities on the planet, and I'm in a hotel all week, fucking dying. So then we get done.
Could you at least see the beach from your hotel?
Nope.
Oh,
so then I tell my coworkers, I'm like, we're going down to the beach, and they're like, oh, you want to go to the bar? So I was like, no, I want to go down to the fucking ocean. And they're like, oh, okay. And I was like, I no offense to you guys, I'm going to go down there by myself. I'm going to put my earbuds in. I'm going to listen to music, and I'm going to stand next to the ocean for a little while and decompress from this fucking thing, And I did. I did exactly that. And people were like flying kites and jogging and, riding electric, like,
Which beach
off-road,
did you go to?
Pacific Beach.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then I went and drank a whole bunch. Went to some cool fucking place. Because, of course, we know Ming Chen. And Ming travels every weekend to a different city via the Comic-Con. So he knows, like, if you're ever going to a city.
Oh, yeah, just
and
hit
you
him
need
up.
And you want to know where the cool fucking place. Not the fucking, touristy shit. Like
Not the
real
trendy stuff.
Yeah. And so I like immediately I tell him like I'm going there, and he's like, dude, you got to go to Trailer Park after dark. So we go to this bar, and it's literally a trailer park inside of a basement bar. You walk in, and there's like I don't know how they got the shit in there. There's like little what do you call those silver little trailers?
The
like,
trailers.
Streamlines.
Streamlines.
Oh.
There's like the little streamlines in there, right?
In a basement?
Yeah. And one of them has like a whole fucking AstroTurf yard with the white picket fence and shitty furniture. And you walk into it, and it's got like ugly 70s furniture with the plastic wrap on it, like the fucking wrap on it. I have photos.
That's so cool.
So good, right? And they have like chili dogs and like fucking nachos, and you get a PBR and it comes in a brown bag, It was so cool. Oh, and they had a room that had a rear projection big ass TV with a Nintendo Entertainment Center.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, this place is fucking amazing, man.
Like a TV that's as big as a couch?
Oh yeah, it was massive. Yeah, it was so big. It was such a cool play. I was like, this was well worth that was. I only got to do one night out, and then we ended up. He told me a couple other places, Tivoli, which was cool. It was a cool dive bar. Much in the. It kind of reminded me of like a bigger version of Bar Uno.
No.
And then what was the other place? We went to the Coin Op, and it was like a bar arcade.
Oh, okay.
And they had, and I took a video of it. They had this whole like wall that was a glass. It was, basically like almost like you went to a museum, and it's behind glass. And I don't know why the camera zoomed in and it won't zoom back out, but it was encased in glass, and it was all like my childhood. Like it blew my mind. I was like, what in the hell is all this? It was like bunk beds, underoos. There was a Sega Genesis, a Super Nintendo, a Dreamcast, like just all these different like 80s and 90s like fucking things that I was like, holy shit. Michael Jackson, a Michael Jackson Thriller poster on the wall. Like it was like a kid's room with like everything, like all the cool shit, like an AT-AT walker, and super dope, And then they had all the thing I don't get is you go to these barcades and they always have Guitar Hero. You know what I mean?
No, actually, I feel like whenever I go to barcades, it's just strictly like arcade games.
Yeah, where are you going to these? Because
no,
I would love to go.
love Guitar Hero.
No,
yeah.
round one. Well, see, you don't. Like round one has it. The Dave and Buster's has it.
Those aren't regular barcades though. Those are like full on.
Okay, but you can't hear them. Like you're in this barcade and the fucking music's blasting, and you're like, I'm playing Guitar Hero, but I can't hear the song. I'm like, yeah. So we played.
Chris, you have to bring in your own headphones.
I'll tell you what did happen.
You have to be like a real arcade
My
kid.
coworkers thought that they were good at fighting games.
Did you dissuade them of that?
I showed them what fighting games are all about, because they had Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh wow!
And
that is your generation right there, man.
Destroyed them. And then they had Street Fighter 2 modified. A modified Street Fighter.
Modified
2.
how? How so?
When I was Ken, when I'd throw fireballs, they were very fast, and they would go down to the feet. And then when you threw the spin kick, it was super fast across the screen.
Okay.
Have you ever played a modified Street Fighter?
I have not.
Oh, okay. A modded out one. We're really nerding out right now.
Oh,
sorry.
no, you're good.
Yeah. So that was, so
I grew up in arcades. This is like really close to my heart.
Where do you go to barcades at?
I haven't been since like college, which I went to college in Michigan.
Well, what barcade?
There was a place called Pinball Pete's that was pretty sick in Ann Arbor.
What's your go-to then when you play in those?
I like, I don't know. I'm pretty basic.
Yeah.
Like I'll play Pac-Man.
Dude, we played Battle Pac-Man there, and I was like, at first I was like, here's what I'm digging. Like, there's these whoever owns those IPs, right? Mm-hmm. Because my friend and I played, they had two there. They had Space Invaders, which when I was a kid,
I love Space Invaders.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, they had the big one, and you know what I'm talking about? Like it's like as tall as this roof, and like 6 feet wide, and then you have two guns.
What?
And you're like firing at them, and they're and like at first it starts out normal Space Invader, and then it speeds up. And it's like how fast can you shoot them all,
Yeah.
right? But the Battle Pac-Man, and I dig it because like people have taken these like classics and like changed them, but for the better. Like the Battle Pac-Man's cool. Have you played that one?
I don't think
You can
so.
do up to 4 players, and it's flat. It's like a tabletop. And you put your money in, and the ghosts really don't do much until like later on. But you're trying to eat the other Pac-Man.
I think it's the tabletop one.
Yeah.
Like we were, yeah.
Where
So-
you're trying to eat the pellets for score, but then
Yeah.
if you eat the big pellet, then you can
become the big blue guy, and
then
you can eat other people.
eat the other Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And then like it's best of 3, and you're like, oh hell yeah.
See, when I was a kid, so my dad's a fireman, but as like a side gig, he had a bunch of arcade games that he would rent out to
Oh.
bars, and then he would like take me with him to like get the
the
change
money.
out and like clean the machines. I played mostly like Pac-Man.
Did he get was that a good gig there?
This was like in the early 2000s.
I bet he made pretty good money.
I
doing
think
that.
it was like him and another fireman. I think
Yeah.
like they bought a couple of games and they'd like take them to the local bars and rent them out.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
So
Well, what they probably did is they probably didn't rent them. They just like the bar let them put them there, and then like your dad probably got 60%, and then
and
the
gave
bar
them
got
a
like
bit of it.
yeah.
Yeah. I was way too young to know. I got free Shirley Temples
Mm-hmm.
from the bar.
when I was in college, we had my fraternity house. We had a pool table. We didn't own the pool table. Some guy, like some local guy, owned it, and he would come once a month and clean it out, and then he gave us our cut, and then he took the rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, but it was it'd be like $40 a month.
Yeah.
For just us.
I just thought it was so cool because I got free games
Yeah.
all the time.
Hell yeah.
What was your favorite?
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
Yeah. That was probably the one they
Not-
had the most machines of, so that's why I think of it the
Not
most.
Miss Pac-Man.
No.
Because Miss Pac-Man's way better than Pac-Man.
Is it?
Yeah. You know why? There's really only one reason. It's faster.
It's faster.
Well, there's more boards. Like the boards are like
More options,
optional.
right? Yeah.
but it's also faster. And like, if you go back and like you look at if you go to buy like a vintage arcade game, the Miss Pac-Mans cost way more than any of the other ones. They're
They
just
were way more popular.
Yeah, they're
That
more
makes
they're more
sense.
sought after. It's just one of those things. But that's cool. That's pretty cool.
I was always a pinball guy.
Well, it's really
Oh.
funny because like I'm a pinball guy too, but like we all 3 of us were there, and we were walking around, and then we didn't see it right away. But then my coworker goes, "Go look!" They had a Simpsons, so we ended up all going over there and playing the Simpsons for quite a while.
Because that's a 4-player too.
Yeah, it's
and you know if you're good at it, you can
Yeah.
actually beat that game in the arcade.
well, if you have like $20, yeah,
Well, with 4 people,
Yeah.
it's a little easier.
Doable.
Yeah.
because that's one of those ones that's more fun in the arcade because I've played it at home. I've beaten it at home, and it's not as fun.
The
'cause-
Simpsons game?
Yeah, it was the 4-player Simpsons.
I've
one.
only ever played. I don't know. Do they have multiple games? I played the Simpsons game. I think it was on the Wii.
Oh no! So yeah,
That was,
those
like,
are
the
different.
game,
The
yeah.
arcade one was like its own thing, and it looked like the show. And like
Don't have a cow, dude.
yeah, it's Bart, Lisa, Homer, or
and Marge.
Yeah.
and that's the 4 characters that like because it's like 4 joysticks.
Marge hits you with her
Yeah.
butt. She has a
No,
flying butt
She
bomb.
does, and then her vacuum.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was Marge. But like so many of the characters from the show are in it. But yeah, then they did a lot of home version ones, but they were not the same as the arcade. They were just different games, Because there was the Simpsons one that's like Grand Theft Auto. There was
Yeah. I
One
think I
that's like-
had that
yeah.
one specifically, where you can steal cars and drive around and
Yeah,
do like little missions.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was pretty fun. I mean, it was fun to go to one of those places, and then you know what? All right, I'm still not sold on the goodness of the food, but we ended up late at night at In-N-Out Burger because we're in California, right?
Yeah, you got to do it.
All right. Do I think In-N-Out Burger is as good as Whataburger? No. But Jesus Christ, that place is cheap. Do you know how much a cheeseburger in San Diego, California was at In-N-Out Burger? Just a hamburger, like just a cheeseburger, just like the initial.
No combo, just a
Right.
sandwich.
Guess how much the price was?
$3.50.
$5. $5 for a full-on hamburger. And I was like, it's $5. Like that's it. And
That's not bad.
they were like, not bad. That's like in Albuquerque. If I went to a place and a hamburger by itself was $5, blown away. But California, like all week, I'd been paying like for like any meal was like $25 easy. Like shit. No wonder people fucking go to this place.
Yeah, I mean, you have a good point there.
Yeah.
I forgot about the food prices. It's been a while
I
since I've
never
been to San
noticed that.
Diego.
I think a hamburger with fries total and a drink was like $8.
Well, that's not bad for a combo.
No, I think
In
that's
California?
right in California, San Diego, California, which is even more expensive. I don't know. I wonder what's more expensive, San Diego or L.A.
It's it's LA.
Yeah, LA.
I mean, it's been a while since I've been out there, but when I was out there, yeah. We stayed in San Diego. We drove up to LA.
Oh, okay. San Diego was not cheap. None of it was. But I didn't pay for any of it. So
Easier than
somebody goes, that's cheaper than eggs. One egg. Fucking James, you son of a gun. You. I don't know. Have you filmed a lot in LA or no?
I've never filmed in LA.
Ever?
I've filmed things I filmed here were production companies usually based in LA, but
Do you think there's going to be a time when people aren't filming there anymore at all?
well, I know right now, like California in general is kind of scared about the film industry leaving there, especially with the fires that affected
sure.
a lot. So they're really taking initiative to keep film production in California and LA because
Wow.
they also know like places like Albuquerque, Atlanta are already competing
Oh yeah.
to take stuff from them. So with the disasters that have happened, it's
Well, because I mean, it's all like a you know, what do you call it? A domino effect. Because if the movies stop filming there, the people who are in the movies stop living there.
yeah, and that's already starting to happen. People
Yeah.
are leaving LA in like big waves. I don't think that production will ever fully stop though in
Well,
Los Angeles.
no.
Los Angeles is always going to be a place where stuff is filming.
LA and
it
New
just
York,
might
they're
not be
just
as big.
they're always gonna film there.
Yeah.
It's always going to be the place to be, but I do think that there's going to be more opportunities elsewhere,
Right.
more than there were before. Like for a while, you had to go to LA or New York. Nowadays, there's other places you can go to.
Right. Well, I mean, Albuquerque, you can never make it look like New York, but Albuquerque, you can make it look like California.
100%. Yeah,
But I mean, they do it all the time.
all the time.
God, what was the show they filmed? There was some show they were filming with Eric Roberts, and it was took place. I mean, Stranger Things. I don't know where that was supposed to be, but you know,
They filmed a bit here.
Yeah. Oh, they filmed the whole season.
No, it was
Not the
just
whole thing, no.
I
most of
didn't
it
know.
was filmed in Atlanta. They filmed a couple
I didn't know that.
scenes here.
Yeah, it was supposed to be filmed here, and then COVID happened, and they switched locales.
Yeah, they still filmed some stuff here, but
Interesting.
not the full season. And they were supposed to come back for the last season, and I don't think they did.
Bitches.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, well, have something else, I'm sure.
No, see, I'm still salty about that because I was cast on that season. I was like, and now I'm not.
I auditioned for it. And
You didn't want to go
cast.
to. You didn't want to go to Hotlanta.
Well, they probably recast it.
No, they recast it. But
Yeah.
you had to wait till after COVID, and when they were recasting, it had been just over a year. And you know what? There is a timeline for how long I can play a high schooler. All right, and I guess in the year and a half between that, I was very obviously not a high schooler.
What was
anymore.
the show you were a high schooler on?
Which one?
No, the one that was like the zombie apocalypse one.
Which one?
No, where they we.
Oh, no, the show that
Yeah.
was
It's funny because like it was a show on Netflix, and like it was
a
all
Netflix
about
zombie show?
yeah, and it was all these. They only did one season, right?
Yeah.
and it was all these high school kids. So it was like high school based, but it was like post apocalyptic,
I
right?
love post-apocalyptic
And
shows.
he's in it in the background, and like the picture of him is amazing because like he's in his 30s, and like he has like a Letterman's jacket on.
I am straight up a high school student.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is in Albuquerque?
Uh-huh. Oh
Like,
yeah.
When? How long ago was this?
I am trying to find the show.
I
It was
forgot-
Daybreak.
Daybreak.
Daybreak, yeah.
Daybreak,
I-
2019.
I also forgot he was in Army of the Dead too. So yeah,
Now, see, I was in a bunch. That was awesome.
yeah. That's
But yeah,
funny.
Daybreak. I was playing a high schooler in that one.
That's funny.
And I was like, "Well, we'll just put you in the back, and we'll put some makeup on you. You'll be fine." And I'm
Yeah.
like, and then everyone on set, I was getting the Luke Perry. They're all, Oh, check out Luke Perry over here. What are you, 34, playing a high schooler?
Well, dude, like, I mean, let's look at the movie Grease.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. They're supposed to be teenagers, and every one of them, like, they're like, one dude's like 30, and he's got like a double chin. It's like, all right, dude, all right. You know.
Hey, it works. Put me in. It was a good check. I was there every week. That's all that mattered to me.
I just remember being like, as a teenager, like,
I got to work with Matthew Broderick too. He was super cool.
Oh, that's right. He was like the villain in that, right? Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Antagonist.
Yeah.
Antagonist. There you go. I just remember growing up as a kid and like just being confused. I'm like, why don't I look like a normal teenager? Because I'm watching like The Breakfast Club and
Everything used to cast 30-year-old. They still do it, but not as bad as they used to. They're more likely to cast teenagers, or at least like closer to 18 now. But
for sure.
The problem was getting him to show up, because every time I got hired as a teenager, it was because I got called in. Someone didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, because you're hiring teenagers.
yeah,
Right.
they have school.
Well, and you know, not all of them are, you know, the best.
Not all of them actually enjoy being on set once they're there. They're like,
Yeah, they don't really realize what the days are like.
What do you
This is
feel?
work.
How do you feel about being on set?
Yeah, it's not what you think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the days are long. The thing is, when you're thinking about a career in film, you're like, this is my dream. It's so
Right.
cool. I love it. And then you actually spend a few days on a set and you're like, God, why am I doing that? Like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
It's a job still. People don't think about it as a job, and the days are longer than the average job. It's not
Yeah.
the same as being like an actual like day laborer, but like a 12 or 14-hour day on your feet still really takes it out of you, and people don't really think about that.
I've had a few 16-hour days until you've had those where like we stopped filming because we legally have
like legally, like we are forced to. It's not even usually legal. It's just they don't want to have to pay people.
Yeah,
right.
They're like double and triple time because after a certain amount of hours, they have to start paying more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah.
Well, no, it's a union thing because they can't work you more than 16 hours because the principals have to come back. They have to have that 8 hours between.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Oh,
10.
what is it? Yeah, because if you start going into the nighttime, and then people have to be on set like the next morning.
Well, because it will just push the next day, and then that'll push the whole week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then they'll just give you like a Fraturday and still ruin.
Oh
your
yeah,
weekend.
I heard about that Fraturdays.
Yeah.
I heard about this. It's like, man. I mean, why do you get into it? Because honestly,
you love it.
Because you love it, and then there's the after part. Sorry, where you like to get to go to
the cool thing,
the cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get to go, oh, I'm in this movie, and I mean, I mean that is right.
Yeah. No, that's really why you do it because you love it.
Yeah.
But it's never what you're expecting, and I tell people that all the time. Like,
Yeah.
they think it's just like all like fun and games, but
No.
First of all, a lot of it just like sitting around and waiting. The days are so long.
Well, that's once you get it. There was all the work up there to get it.
To getting it, yeah.
Yeah. Like I that's why I love doing this, because we get to sit down, we get to dissect things like this, and what people need to understand, like there's a lot of work that goes into everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of work that goes into this. I mean, the fact that it fucking zoomed in, I have no idea, but sure, the work's done, a lot of it, but there's still work after. There's still work, you're trying to make it in the movie industry or the TV and film, all that. The amount of things you have to do on your own is off the charts that people don't understand.
Yeah. There's
Right?
so much work that goes into it.
The training, the practice, the networking, the talking to people you probably don't want to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than people ever would imagine. And so when people are like, well, I want to make it, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do it, there's a lot of work goes into it. If you're driven, good. If you're not, good luck.
Yeah, because it takes all of your energy, and that's really the hard part. And people are like, just, you find some other hobbies and focus on other things. It's like, yeah, but like if I take my mind off this for a bit, then it's just going to push me back even farther. Like I'm going to be even more, like I'll be years behind if I decide to like focus on something else for a bit.
Right.
I have to put all of my energy into this to move an inch forward.
Yes.
Just to move, just to creep forward takes all of your energy, all of your time, all of your focus. So yeah, I could like split my time up between other things, but then it's gonna take even longer to inch forward, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
And that's like what's like my family. They're like, you can do other things. It's like no.
It's
I've already put my everything into this. I'm not gonna just like
right
divert to something else.
It's hard to like explain that.
Yeah.
So I got to be like
have people understand.
Yeah. Like, so let me get this straight, Smiley. You just quit your job? I was like, yep. I don't think I'm ever going to get ahead in acting unless I put all of my time into this.
Right.
Yeah.
And I talked to all of my like friends who are artists, and I was like, well, when did you make it? I was like, well, I quit my job. All I did was art.
Yeah.
And that was
Right.
the only way I got ahead. And I was like, check.
Yeah.
I think that sounds right. And so I quit my waiting job. I'm like, I had to be that hungry.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only way
This
to
is
make
my
it.
job, and this is the only thing that's going to pay my bills.
Well, and like people, I don't know, it's zoomed in.
Wow, dude.
Why does it keep doing that? I've had people that are like, man, you do a lot of stuff. I'm like, no, I have to do all those things.
Yeah.
Like I have to do. There's two reasons. I have to do all those things because like you want to keep yourself fresh in people's mind and eye, but also I'm just wired that fucking way.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. And that's how a lot of people that are doing things in like out in the world are. And I'm not saying you can't be not that way and go do and be somebody like, but it's harder, I'm assuming. You know, some of us are just fucking wired that way. We're crazy.
That you have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be a psychopath to
A little bit,
make
right?
it in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
That's why so many famous people are crazy.
Yeah, and exhausted all the fucking
Yeah,
time.
you
know?
have to be crazy to
Yeah.
be able to pursue this career because it takes all of your energy and to want to keep. Like, there's some
Yeah.
days where I'm like, wow, do I want to keep doing this? This
Right.
is how I want my day to day life to be. But it's like overall, yeah.
Yeah,
And I must
because
be kind
what's
of
the
crazy.
alternative is like,
Oh, I go back to a regular job. Screw that.
Exactly.
I buy the Crocs and I I wear cargo shorts and walk around and
Can you imagine me getting hired at a regular job now?
No.
It wouldn't last at all.
no.
They'd be like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. I really can't imagine. And sometimes I think about like, it might be nice just to have like an office job. Like I'll see people like post like their office through them like a birthday party or something. Like, oh, that's nice.
See,
But
I do both.
I could never do that.
I do both of them. I do both worlds.
You're like Hannah Montana.
I'm kind of.
I love it.
And then I for work I'm traveling and I fly. I land in Phoenix, and then as I'm in the airport, I'm with my coworkers. We're gonna go grab a drink, and then there's some person that's like, hey, blah blah blah, can I take a picture? I'm like, sure. And my coworkers all, who's that? I'm like, I have no idea. And they're like, I'm like, they reckon, and to them they're like, really? Like, like it's the world.
Yeah.
What it is. And that's it. Yeah, it's hard to understand.
It's hard to understand, like,
Yeah.
this is just all I want to do. I was talking to my mom, like, last week,
Yeah.
and she was like, you could be a drama teacher. And I was like, I would rather jump off the roof.
Those are the people that have given.
Like, that's the people that wanted
You're
to
all-
do what I'm doing.
You're all,
and
Mom,
they're no
watch
longer."
Hamlet too.
Like, I don't know how to, like, convince other people, though, like,
Yeah.
this is all I want.
Have you?
Like,
Yes, eventually I could do that.
Yeah.
sure.
But
I guess
right
I could.
now,
Have you ever watched Hamlet too?
No, I haven't.
Watch it. They filmed it here,
Oh.
and it's a guy who was like trying to be an actor and failed, and he goes
Then
and
you
becomes
become
a drama teacher.
That's,
and,
that's the story.
And and his life's just shit.
That just sounds so
Yeah.
depressing. And like, not to like say anything
yeah.
about like people that become drama teachers, because obviously like everybody's life can follow different directions. So
Sure.
for me personally, like that just feels like giving up. It doesn't feel like going to the next thing. It feels like giving up on this, and that's what I'm settling for. And I don't
Right.
want to settle. Is really what it is.
Right.
yeah, you're way too young to settle. That's all I'm saying.
I don't
No,
feel that
I-
young anymore.
I feel like you should just get. What the hell? Are you fucking kidding me? How old are you? 20? You don't have to say.
I
I know. Now I'm curious what you're gonna get.
We don't ask those sort of questions on this
That's
show,
true.
Mr. Chris.
We do, but I was going to say 23, 24, maybe. You're older than that?
I lie about my age
Shit.
all the time.
All right.
I'm 27.
Okay.
Don't tell my
Well-
IMDb that.
I'm 50 and I'm still going, and I'm going as strong as I possibly can.
Yeah, but I'm a woman also.
That's also fair.
Like, it's a lot different when it comes to
different.
careers in entertainment.
I agree, but I feel like it's moved a little bit better.
It's balancing out more, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, Meryl Streep and some of the other, some.
Yeah, but she started young.
Yeah, no, I got you.
She just didn't make it until she was older, but
Right.
she was pushing it still when she was a lot younger.
But no, I get
auditioning.
it sucks. Yeah,
It's tough.
it sucks.
It's a tough job, Miss
It's
Chris.
tough, yeah, I know. But yeah, no, but I'm running out of time. Well, it depends. I do a lot of I do so many different fucking things that I don't know what the age limit is on any of this,
I don't think there's even a limit. It's
Yeah.
more just about, I don't even know.
It's what people will want to.
There's a window.
Window.
There's a window you
Yeah.
have. It's like when I was modeling. There's a window you have to be a model,
Yeah.
Right.
and eventually you age out of it.
Yep.
Yeah. You can't be a model anymore, Smiley?
You know how much work it is to get back into model shape?
Yeah.
It is not something I would really want to do anymore. Modeling is really, really hard.
I'm going to need you to get into model shape for this podcast, Smiley. Have you eaten?
If I have to.
You can. So don't eat for the next 3 days, okay?
That's not exactly how that works.
I'm just kidding.
Male models, it's more I have to eat like 5 meals a day so I can pack on some muscle.
Oh, I got you, yeah. All right. Let's see it. I'm just kidding. Let's get it done.
Why do you got me a runway show coming up?
Maybe.
Hey,
I could.
man.
Hey, no.
I didn't say I couldn't do it. I just said it
Right.
would be a pain in the ass.
I know. Yeah. I'm just fucking. We'll be in El Paso. We'll find a gig for you.
Okay.
Y'all come out tonight. Smiley's gonna walk the runway at the El Paso Locomotives game.
Hey, dude. I have a good runway walk, dude. I shit you not, man. I look good out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get you something going on. If I get you in as my assistant, or you're gonna do some work there while we're there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and I mean fun. It's all fun, right?
Yeah.
Everything I do for work is fun.
What's your favorite part about doing this?
About just working in like film.
Yeah, TV, all the industry.
That it can be really fun, and it's fun to get to be creative. It's fun to have a job where you get to be creative,
Right.
and do just something enjoyable and artistic.
Right.
And there are a lot of creative type jobs out there. But that's definitely my favorite part, especially like as an actor, is like getting to play around with a character and getting to like have a scene partner. I've got a little buddy right here.
Brody's all, I need love.
Hi, are you my scene partner? Yeah, just getting to like explore also what you do in film is sometimes you get put in situations you may not have been in your day-to-day. Like when it comes to a career, sometimes you can be thrown into different careers as the character that you're playing, and
Right.
you get to do a little bit of everything and explore different lifestyles and meet new people. There's a lot of things I like about it.
Yeah. Well, for me,
I always forget about that. Yeah, research for a role is sometimes some of my favorite things in the
Yeah,
world.
like, oh, I'm a chef. Well, maybe I should take a cooking class. Like, you get to explore different lifestyles. And what is on my hand?
if you're a chef, you shouldn't go do a cooking class. You should go work in a restaurant where people scream at you.
Well, I've already done that.
Yeah, like this show, The Bear. Mm-hmm. Like I worked in the service industry for 10 years in kitchen, and like people are like, you got to watch this show, and I'm like, so I watch it, and I'm watched like several episodes, and I'm like, this is like a Vietnam veteran like watching a fucking like Full Metal Jacket, like, and it's not exactly that, but it's like PTSD, like because you want to talk about like people go, how can you handle stress? I worked in kitchens.
Yeah.
That's the most stressful environment I've ever seen. Like, I'm sure there's way more. I'm sure that like an underwater welder has some fucking stress, but
I worked as an EMT. That wasn't very great. I had to quit that job.
I'm sure, but like working in a fucking high traffic kitchen and someone screaming at you. Yeah, I don't want to watch a TV show about that.
No.
It's tough. It's tough to watch. It's a great show. And it's like the people who love it are all these people that are like, they're like voyeurs that are like, oh wow, look at this.
Is that what it's like?
Is
to
that
work in
what
a
it's like?
restaurant?
It's so angry. It's so intense. And you know what? A lot of shows exaggerate. That one's not. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of really like that.
That's what it's like. But
Fucking people
Yeah.
scream, but then I don't know if I didn't get the part. There's way more drugs, and way
well,
more.
depending on the restaurant you're working in.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the show, but
I don't know, man. It's a line
that can't be right.
Have you read Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain? They need to make a movie based off that book. That is 100% what I experienced. You know, people doing drugs in the walk-in.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a gimme. Yeah.
Hold on. The guy that works in the kitchen, so he can sell drugs to the people who are wait staff because they have all the tip money. That's me.
Yep.
Oh, this is all status quo.
Yep. And everybody knows him. They're like, oh, that's blah blah blah. He gives me the cocaine. You know. Yeah. But
No, those are called safety brakes.
no, I just did a little bump in the walk-in on top of the Brussels sprouts. You know.
Before every shift. All right.
Before every shift, you hear those are famous words.
Before every shift. All right. The kitchen staff would go to the walk-in. I don't know what they did. I wasn't on kitchen staff.
Shit.
The waiting staff and the busing staff would go outside, and we called that our safety meeting. Because we'd go outside and chain smoke before the shift. And I'm like, all right, we have to do a safety meeting. So we're all like, we don't want to actually attack the customers when they come in. Nope, it's too early. I'm going to hit you in the face.
A movie that bombed at the box office, but I saw it in the theater and I was like, oh yeah, this is great, is Waiting.
Not enough drugs in that movie.
Not enough
Otherwise,
drugs.
spot on.
Other than that, spot on.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, with Ryan Reynolds?
Wait, I think I've seen
Dane
pieces
Cook,
of it.
Ryan Reynolds, Luis Guzman.
They're like a chain restaurant.
Yeah.
Who's the main character? Come on.
Isn't Jennifer Aniston in it?
Who was
Or
the
no?
main character? Oh, what's his name? What is his name? The Mac guy. I'm a Mac. I'm a PC. The Mac guy.
That's all you know him from?
No, but
Not Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah,
not freaking
right.
Drag Me to Hell.
What's his name?
Why can't I think?
Justin Long.
Justin
I was
Long.
Like, I just was watching. Yeah.
But dude, one of my
He's
favorite.
the main
scenes-
character in that movie.
One of my favorite scenes is when they're showing, and then the guy that they're showing around is the kid from Freaks and Geeks.
Francis.
Yeah. But I love the scene where they go through the kitchen and fucking Dane Cook's all, "Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch." You know, I was like, yes. The scene that is more accurate than any scene in that movie is when the guy comes in 30 minutes before they close,
Yeah.
and the guys in the kitchen like, and people are like, that scene's disgusting.
No, it was 10 till in the movie.
Yeah.
10 till closed. And
Yes.
they're like,
And in my experience, that movie undersold how bad people do that shit.
How often people do that?
Well, how
Or
like
how awful
they did
are.
awful things in the movie, and that was nothing compared to what I've seen in real life. Yeah, nothing compared. But like it was. I love, like, as a person who worked in the service industry, I love that movie. And then the after party scene where they're all at someone's house drinking, totally accurate. Totally accurate. You know, I was like, this is and you had
plus it begins the movie with them waking up
hungover
at a party,
at a party, yes,
going to work,
yes,
and then doing
yes.
it again.
And,
I'm like, yep, that was how Waiting Tables
And you're
was.
all partying together, and none of those people would ever hang out together if
outside of work.
No,
if it wasn't for that.
If they didn't work together outside of, like, if they would have never worked together, you would have never met most of those people.
100%.
People hook up and you're like, what? Like, what? All right, fucking weird, But that was like the most, and like it bombed, and I was like, this is like fucking reality, but it's a comedy. Like, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
They
I
actually
gotta
have
watch it too. I've only
yeah.
seen pieces of it.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a really, really like a long take scene on that.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like right in the middle. It's like a one take, long take. Like, the director was all, I dreamed of doing this.
Yeah.
But it's so, he pulls it off, and it's
Yeah.
so good.
All of it's great, yeah. Even the little game, because like you'll go to a place and there's always like some like little traditions that the people do to just fucking.
Welcome to Chotski's.
I had to do the I worked at a restaurant that was
Yeah.
Greek, and we had to do the flaming cheese.
Oh.
It was
wow.
terrifying. I didn't do it for like a year straight. I would always like give another server a couple bucks to do it
Really?
for me because I was so scared. Because you have to like pour the alcohol and then you have to
Flambe.
light it. Yeah, and you go, Oppa! And I was terrified of doing it at first. And then I became like the senior server that was doing it for other people after a while.
Oh,
it's not that bad.
You became you were
I was
sick.
a pro.
And then people be scared of it. You're like, all right, puss, come on, get out here.
Like, what
It's not
worried
bad.
about? Yeah.
And you
I
were
was
like,
terrified of it when I first started.
oh, of course. There's always something like just, dude. When I first started, like the fryer was terrifying. Changing out the grease.
I was only a server. I never
Terrifying.
had to deal with that.
See,
stuff.
I was never a server. I was always
Front of
kitchen.
house, huh?
Yeah, I was kitchen. Yeah.
Oh, you were back house.
Back of the house. I just remember my boss, like the business was going, like it was not going well, and he just started bringing in alcohol, and we just started drinking in the kitchen. And there was like one night I was like almost fell on the grill, like it's like this is not smart, like, but whatever, fuck it, not my money.
Come on,
Yeah.
buddy. Hold your booze better.
Yeah,
Don't fall on the grill.
dude, I'd had like 8 beers, it's like, and I'm cooking, I'm like, whoa, pouring beer in the eggs. And I was like, I'm making a burrito. Yeah. Anyway, all right. I think we're gonna end here because I'm gonna meet Sarah and Kelly. They're watching the Oscars at the Red Door. It's still going on, right?
Yeah.
It's long, isn't it?
Amelia Perez won Best Original Song.
For what?
El Mal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to say nice to that, man. I've heard that's not a good movie. I heard it's not very.
We're talking about the song.
Okay. I know.
We're talking about the song for
Do
the
you,
movie.
do you know where I'm going? Like, I heard it was like an LGBTQ movie written by like a person who is not any of those letters.
I've heard it's offensive for multiple reasons.
Yes.
For depictions of both like
Yes.
LGBTQ people.
Yes.
And like the way they portray like Mexican people. Like for
Yes.
multiple reasons it's offensive, but I haven't seen it, so I can't say.
Sarah and Kelly went and watched it after we talked about like all the Golden Globes, or we went to the Golden Globes and it kept winning all these awards. And they went and watched it, and they were like, "Oh man, excited!" And then they were like, "It is not good."
And then it's also I've also heard it's just even without the offensive stereotypes that they portray,
It's not
also
good.
just bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
So that's what I've heard,
I
but
don't
until I see it, I'm not going to say that's my
It's true.
opinion.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Do you have a different
All right.
opinion?
Well, I want to thank you for coming back on the show. Yeah, I want to thank you for coming back on the show.
Well,
March
thank you for having me.
14th.
March
Check out
14th, the
the
8th
day. Right?
Yes.
Come out this Saturday for Almost AAA Cabaret. I will be telling people that I don't like them. I'm just kidding.
That you love them.
Or that I love them. Because I do that. I will tell people, like, when somebody really nails everything, not just the song, the form, I love it. And I'm so into it. So come out Saturday, Dry Heat Comedy. It's called Second Saturdays. It's Comedy Corner. Second and Gold. Mm-hmm. There's actually comedy all night. There's like an open mic, then there's the show at the Box, and then there's Almost AAA Cabaret. It's fucking amazing. And then next Sunday we will have Mei-Ling Armijo, the mayoral candidate. Get your questions ready, because we're gonna find out if she's gonna be our next mayor of Albuquerque. That's going to be there. And then in April 11th through the 13th, Smiley and I will be in El Paso, Texas.
Yes, we will.
Hanging out with Patrick Warburton till the security
And
comes.
others.
Till the security comes and kicks us out of his room. Hopefully. So yeah, that's going to be cool. We good?
Yeah, no,
All
yeah.
right, cool. Thank you, Alexis, for being on the show
Thank you for having
again.
me.
You're welcome anytime. If you have anything coming up, let me know and we'll bring you back on
For
the show.
sure.
Smiley, there we go. There you are.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Always.
And then thank you guys for watching. Because we are
10 drink minimum.